Enter the hot dream, come with us. Dreams watching each other narrowly. Oh, dreamland, golden scene land. Try to sleep, lamb, take us to dreamland.
This little game is fun to do. Just close your eyes, no way to lose. And I'm right here, I'm going to release control. We're breaking through.
When I first discovered the Doors, I also discovered meditation. You know, and in meditation there is like no time, space, and continuum. So you can go anywhere, any place, any time. So at that time I'd use Jim Morrison as a guide, you know, and ask him through his music, through his words, to kind of guide me in the most positive way. And that kind of basically was the foundation for this project 20 years later. You know, and in my meditation while working on this project, I would vision Jim introducing me to the rest of the band at their age in the 1960s. And I would, you know, say in about 40 years from now, I'll have something to offer you, a gift. And that was kind of a positive meditation for this project.
In my project Seen Through the Mystic, I created a packet entitled Symbolicy. And in Symbolicy, I created 4 expansions in the dream exercises. So, and I, at the same time, I had 4 major dreams. So instead of giving them names, as indicated, I decided to give them lyrics to the Doors that best describe the dream.
Hey, Seattle, nice to see ya.
My first dream was at Seattle Center, and at the soccer amphitheater there, the Doors were playing. And next thing you know, I realized that I turned around and there was all these hippies, and I realized it was in the 1960s, but it was currently me. And so next thing you know, I'm at another part of Seattle Center, this big glass building, and I knew that the Doors were in there. And so I was just trying to get around, you know, opening the doors to get in to meet the Doors. And to me, I felt that was my first invite to start this project.
What was that promise that you made?
The second dream that I had was a dream where I was in the 1960s at this underground club. It was kind of very Andy Warhol-ish and whatnot. And at the time I had long hair, and I was walking through this hallway, and just like in Oliver Stone's movie, I came across Jim Morrison, and we just kind of like checked each other out, and he was checking me out, but I got the feeling that he really didn't like me. And so later on in the dream, I'm talking to this hippie lady with really long black hair, curly, and I was telling her the story and how I'm honoring Jim Morrison and the Doors. And Jim was in the room, and you can feel the energy shift, and he was so appreciative of me and really grateful for what I was doing. So just before the dream ended, he handed me his poetry book entitled Promise. And to me, that was him saying that he's given me his promise that, you know, if you meet me halfway, we can make this thing happen. And I promise to make this thing happen, you know, or whatever it may be. So I'm kind of using that as my inspiration from this dream.
You know the rain man's coming to town.
Well, in the dream, the Doors had just got done with a gig, and we were on First Avenue, and it was pouring down rain, and I got in the car with Jim, Ray, the manager of the Doors, and we were cruising down First Avenue, making small talk about the rain in Seattle compared to the rain in LA.
Meet me at the back of the blue bus tonight.
Dream, I'm in the back of a bus in the bench seats, and I'm looking up, and Jim is right there, and he's looking down on me. And you know, I give him a big hug and I embrace him, just tell him how grateful I am to honor him in this lifetime. And he reciprocated, saying that he's grateful for me honoring him. And so next thing you know, Jim and the rest of the Doors exit the bus, and I happen to be on the same street as what my father lives on. And so the next thing you know, I'm in this very luxurious hotel, and I'm walking a baby girl around the lobby, and I can hear the Doors either rehearsing or getting ready for the show, or actually performing their show. And to me, this signifies that, you know, months and months later, we have a baby girl in our lives, and now she's starting to get the age of walking. So to me, this is the sign, this is when it's starting to happen. This is when, you know, it's time to move this thing forward. And also, going down my father's street is saying, you know, to take a different road than the road that he took me on, and to give a good life to my child as she gets older and so forth. And for me, it's that time to move on with this project. With my slightly darker humor, I like to consider myself the aborted spirit of Patricia Keneally and Jim Morrison. Now, I say that only for the fact that I have a deep connection to the Celtic culture, you know, and she writes books about Celtics and the Druid mythologies, and then obviously on the other half is dedicated and inspired by Jim Morrison. And here I am 40 years later with this message to deliver, you know. It's kind of a, all joking, it's just a joke though, I'm kidding when I say this kind of stuff.
It's a funny thing. I've noticed that when people are joking, they're usually dead serious. And when they're dead serious, it's usually pretty funny. So I think anything you say means exactly what you say and its opposite.
All right, no, you got me. No, you're right, but I'm just saying, check out the signs though.
Well, for starters, we both have moles on our left cheek. In the art form of astrology, you and I both share the same elements in our sun, moon, and rising signs. With our sun sign, we're both fire, and with our moon, we're both earth, and with our rising, we're both air. According to the documentary When You're Strange,
On April 17th, 1971, Jim flies to Paris.
And on April 17th, 1999, 28 years later from that exact date, I moved to Seattle. Man, speaking of dates, check this out. When I asked the universe for a sign to pay homage to you and the Doors, I wrote my first set of notes on November the 10th, 2004. Well, anyhow, fast forward until recently, I was on his website where it shows where the Doors were playing and what month and what year we're at. And I was blown away to find out the Doors were in Seattle on November the 10th, 1967. And how about the pictures that came back from seeing through the Mystic Project? They're all elements of love, death, travel. Then there was a day I was walking to the beach, and all by itself was a single playing card, and that card happened to be the Jack of Hearts.
Why did you throw that Jack of Hearts away? It was the only card in the deck I had left to play.
Another cool thing that happened is when I received my Writers Guild certification, there was a number that came with it, and that number is 1280866. Now the 128 to me equals December the 8th, your birthday, and then the 866 is August 1966, is when you guys recorded your first album. To me, it was very sacred to get a phone call from Ray Manzarek on your death day to tell me that he enjoyed the script. And speaking of Ray, you guys have a very interesting combination of numbers in your life. Your birthday is December the 8th. Ray's half birthday is August the 12th. You died in 1971. Ray was born in 1941. Ray will be 71 years old this year. And after today, we'll be heading into your 41st year since your passing. Alright, these might be a little far-fetched, but this is my 12th year living in Seattle. This year I'm 35, and if you add those two together, you get an 8. In football, the Seahawks are well known for their 12th man. And their number 1 quarterback wears the jersey number 8. They had a one-time coach named Jim Morrison Jr. The letters JR are also the combination of the Doors with Jim, Ray, John, and Robbie. And the main character in Love, Death, Travel is John Risen. As you can tell, I have a strong connection to the universal signs. Because one thing that happened to me recently, I went downtown to film some footage for this project. And after that, I went down to Seattle Center and I was kind of sitting there meditating and contemplating what direction I'm taking in. Am I doing the right thing? And then, of course, I'm dealing with the antics of the bridesmaid. And the next thing you know, the clouds open up and the sun shines on me because the singer Ron Fulton breaks out Roadhouse Blues. And to me, I was like, all right, this is the universal sign saying, man, it's time for you to move forward and what you're choosing is the right thing. And man, it was a beautiful moment in time for me.
Yeah, I love it. You gotta roll, 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 roll through my soul.
Oh man, you are really out of sight.